Hey YouTube. Briefly, I would like to mention why I'm not making nearly as many videos as I used to. Sorry about that. It's been crazy lately. I bought a house. It was a bank-owned home. It needs a lot of work, so I've been spending a lot of free time like cleaning mold and doing all sorts of crazy crap, plumbing and electric that the house needs. So it eats up a lot of my time. Also, my parents-in-law are in from out of state staying with us, which is awesome, but it just takes a lot of work getting the house ready for that. So my wife has been keeping me pretty busy getting the guest room ready and stuff like that. And now it's the Christmas season. Shopping is going on. It's actually my son's 4th birthday today. So it's just been crazy, super busy, and yeah, I just haven't found the time to do it. But quickly, wanted to say a couple of things. The Vikings lost to Arizona, stunk, and after taking some time looking back on it, I just think they played their worst game of the year, and the Cardinals played their best game of the year, and they've got Kurt Warner and Larry Fitzgerald and Anquan Boldin, and it was a national audience, and it was on the road, and all those things came together at once, and the Cardinals just whooped up on the Vikings. Good for them, congratulations, but it was sort of extenuating circumstances. Hopefully it won't happen anymore. Hopefully if Minnesota has to face Arizona in the playoffs, it'll be in Minnesota, and Minnesota won't play their worst game of the year, and Arizona won't play their best game of the year, and things will work out just fine. Number 2, the win against the Bengals last week was nice. It was great to see the team get back to a running game. It was great to see the team put together a 30-point game against a good defense without Percy Harvin on the field. And it was good to watch the offensive line dominate Cincinnati's defensive line, and for the defensive line to dominate Cincinnati's offensive line. Cincinnati's been known sort of as a physical team this year, a team that wins the game in the trenches, and Minnesota just whooped up on them, which was encouraging to see. Now, Sunday night, the Vikings have Carolina, and Carolina's not been great this year, and Jake Delhomme has really not been great this year, and I think they're playing Matt Moore instead of Delhomme. So it seems like a pretty winnable game. Julius Peppers is my biggest worry. He's a great pass rusher, and I believe he plays outside linebacker in a 3-4 defense. So it'll be interesting to see how Minnesota does with pass protection against that kind of scheme and against a player like Peppers. Personally, I would love to see Chester Taylor on the field a lot with Adrian Peterson. I think this is a game where you don't have to stretch the field necessarily, and here's what I'd love to see in some offensive plays. We'll see if it happens. But the 5 offensive linemen, Brett Favre, and then Chester Taylor, Adrian Peterson, Jim Kleinsasser, Desante Shanko, and Percy Harvin, if he plays. So you've really only got one receiver, and he's fast, but not really known as like the deep threat, like the stretch the defense kind of guy. And just watch the safeties for Carolina have nothing to do. Play against a 9-man front with the corners way outside of the box, and show the team, hey, we're going to get 5 yards on you all the time, whether it's a short pass or a run or a screen or whatever. I think that'd be a really cool scheme to try. So, probably won't happen, but if it does, I will be happy. Unless it bombs, then I won't. Minnesota has clinched a playoff spot. The win tonight, or tomorrow night, they clinch the division. Or if the Packers lose against the Steelers earlier in the day, Minnesota clinches the division. And tonight's game is the Saints and the Cowboys. And if the Saints win, then Minnesota has to win out, and New Orleans has to lose out in order for Minnesota to get the 1 seed. Otherwise, it's not happening. So I'm kind of hoping, and New Orleans has games against Carolina, which could be tough for them, and Tampa Bay, which should not be tough. So this Cowboys game is pretty important for a Vikings fan if you're still holding out hope for the 1 seed. I'm kind of not, but I will watch the Cowboys-Saints game tonight, despite the fact that company will be over and my son will be having his birthday party. But But yeah, that's just an interesting playoff thing. Looking at the NFC, I think the Vikings can go toe-to-toe with any team in the NFC and play them hard and beat them, especially in the Metrodome. They're a better team than they were last year. And the Saints still look to me like the biggest threat. The Eagles look dangerous, and obviously Arizona showed that they can beat Minnesota pretty badly a couple weeks ago. But I don't see that happening twice in a row. And really, other than that, there's no one in the NFC to speak of. People talk about the Packers playing the Vikings in a third game in the playoffs, but that doesn't worry me. I know that the Vikings were swept by the Packers a few years ago and then came in as a wild card and beat Green Bay in the playoffs, which is cool, and it sets a precedent, but I do not see the Packers beating the Vikings. Even though they're playing better now than they were, it's just not a good matchup for them. So yeah, it's an exciting time to be a Vikings fan. I'm looking forward to all the games. I think that Minnesota's got a chance to win and dominate in all of them. And I'm excited about the playoffs already, even though there have only been 13 games played. Usually we're looking at all sorts of scenarios to see if the Vikings can sneak in as a wild card. Now we're looking at scenarios where they can keep their first round bye in the playoffs. So it's a very exciting year to be a Vikings fan. Thanks for watching. Don't know when the next video will be. I'm going to try and make it sooner rather than later. If the Vikings do something crazy or exciting, that will probably help motivate me to get one done. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching. See you later.